Welcome to the Luna Lab, all things tech through the lens of Gen Z. I'm your host, Luna Leo, and I'm exploring what the hell is going on in this tech-saturated world I've been born into. Why are all of my friendships managed through social media? Why am I addicted to my phone? Why did my parents grow up with tree houses while I grew up with Minecraft? On this podcast, I investigate these questions and more. So turn off your apps, turn on your brains, and join me in the Luna Lab. The majority of the world is currently shut down and self-isolating in their homes because of the infectious disease COVID-19. As a result, Gen Zs are turning to technology and increasing their daily screen times to entertain themselves. For example, the average daily screen time of some of my friends has tripled within a week during spring break, due to rewatching television series on Netflix and a brought back video chatting app, House Party. So what is House Party? It's a social networking service that enables group video chatting through mobile and desktop apps, and allows you to play games together like Heads Up. It is owned by Epic Games, the same company that owns Fortnite, and has gained over 2 million downloads within a week. And due to its recent gain in popularity, it's also currently involved in a severe security problem. Users are claiming on social media apps like TikTok and Twitter that the app hacked into their other apps like Spotify and Netflix. Has House Party responded to this? Yes, but they have now changed their stance. On March 30th at 9:43 a.m., House Party claimed this to be false. However, later that day at 8:21 p.m., House Party tweeted, quote, "We are investigating indications that the recent hacking rumors were spread by a paid commercial smear campaign to harm House Party. We are offering a $1 million bounty for the first individual to provide proof of such a campaign to bounty@houseparty.com, unquote. This reflects how security has literally become a $1 million question. So, what are some real risks about this app? When the app is downloaded, users can organize a party in a virtual room. However, unless you lock this room, complete strangers can also join. Thus, it has created the phenomenon of house party bombing, which is when people leap into your house party and display pornographic imagery or expose themselves. Now, I've heard about this and started to research it. However, I haven't been able to find actual examples, but all the articles I've read have all repeated each other, but none seem to offer a concrete example of how this so-called bombing was carried out. I'm not trying to say it isn't happening, but it could also be true that the phenomenon is being amplified by this kind of copied journalism. And maybe it was just a few cases, but the news makes it seem like millions. Nonetheless, even if it is a few incidents, they have succeeded in all users wanting higher security options from the companies. So maybe the copied journalism actually works after all. So how can you try to prevent being bombed? It is important to remember that it is up to you to lock strangers out by tweaking the privacy settings, because it is not the default. Also, if you are logged onto the app, any user you have added on the app can immediately start video chatting you. So it is important that you alter this in your settings, and do not add anyone you have never met in person to ensure your privacy. Another app that has immensely increased in popularity is Zoom, an American remote conferencing service. And due to the pandemic, millions of people have started to use this tool for remote work and study. However, there has been a growing number of Zoom bombing incidents, prompting warnings from the FBI and from the victims themselves. As a result, my school has decided to use Google Hangouts instead of this app. For example, Russell Klein, the head of a Jewish high school in Vancouver, told CBC News that a community gathering the school was hosting on Zoom was infiltrated. Also, a 250-guest virtual town hall that was held by YWCA to discuss the impact of COVID-19 on women was Zoom bombed, and the bombers started shouting racial epithets like the N-word, and 2 YWCA employees were sexually harassed in the chat function. So, how can you try to prevent this from happening? You should keep the meetings private by issuing users a password and utilizing the waiting room function, which requires the host to invite each guest individually. Also, you should not share invitation links on social media and keep your software updated to stay on top of any security patches provided by video teleconferencing companies. Most importantly, you should lock your room once everyone is there. So, what is Zoom currently doing to try to prevent this problem from continuing to happen? Zoom's founder and CEO Eric Yuan said the company would freeze new feature development and shift all of its engineering resources to working on security and safety issues. Moreover, the documentation presents unclear claims about its encryption protocols and states there are potential security issues surrounding the way the company stores cryptographic information. Additionally, Zoom does not use end-to-end encryption, the gold standard of security measures. Instead, it uses transport encryption between devices and servers. So, what problem has this caused? Instead of the digital keys that lock up and open user data that is generated and stored on the user's computer or smartphone, Zoom servers generate the keys that store the information in a conversation. As a result, it has access to the audio and video of each call. Moreover, Zoom uses a weaker encryption, the AES-128 algorithm, rather than the AES-256 to create the unique keys. As a result, Zoom's users are not truly protected from hackers because the system they have in place is easier for hackers to listen to the conversation and even track where the users are located. And its system's keys are being shared in what's known as electronic codebook mode. Thus, it is possible to even obtain information from within the supposedly protected data without having to crack the keys. Are there any other skeptical things about Zoom? Yes. There are concerns surrounding Zoom's data sharing. As a result, they are currently facing a class action lawsuit for not properly informing users about who they share their data with. It has been revealed that they used to ship data to Facebook, but they have now stopped, and the app contains bugs that may compromise webcam and password security. Also, research done by Forbes suggests that Zoom sometimes shares users' data, including encryption keys that would allow access to conversations to meetings with China, although the users are not inhabited there. So what is the problem with sending it to China? The problem is that Zoom may be legally obligated to disclose these encryption keys to authorities in China, and it has not released a transparency report showing how it deals with government requests, unlike other web giants like Google, Microsoft, and Facebook. Gen Zs have been utilizing these apps to contact their friends and learn. However, they are also entertaining themselves by watching online concerts. Recently, there was a concert called iHeart Living Room Concert for America that was organized by Elton John and was able to help fundraise $8 million for COVID-19, where it featured Elton John himself, Alicia Keys, Camila Cabello, Billie Eilish, and many more. Moreover, other celebrities like John Legend, Youngblood, and Virgil Abloh have all done impromptu concerts with the hashtag #TogetherAtHome. This has resulted in the total internet hits to surge by 50 to 70%, and users are streaming 12% more than they used to. How has this changed the live streaming business? Some live streaming companies have been inundated with requests since the lockdown. For example, Jake Ward, the business development director at Groovy Gecko, said that there are more than 50 entertainment brands and individuals looking to engage with their audiences virtually, and are looking for advice on how to plan events to virtualize them as much as possible, and how they can help to entertain people who are stuck at home while concerts, shows, and films are all canceled or postponed. So, what have I been doing with my time as the world is on pause? I've been taking online classes and participating in some hackathons. Don't worry, I'm not hacking something. A hackathon is a design sprint event where programmers and designers collaborate intensively on software projects to create something that matches the theme of the event. Currently, due to the pandemic, all hackathons have been moved online, and the majority of them are now related to COVID-19. Recently, I attended one with my friends, where we built a website to clarify some misconceptions, provide counseling to people who need counseling, and created a way for readers to donate to their local community. These events are an opportunity for the attendees to make a slight contribution to the crisis by creating something that may benefit society. Although we suddenly find ourselves in a different time, there are still a significant amount of things that we can spend our time doing. Maybe one thing that might happen from this sudden surge in online dependency is that we might be witnessing a much needed shift in attention towards our security online. And since everyone is stuck at home and the world seems to be slowing down, maybe we'll suddenly have a little more time to pay attention and ask what's actually happening to all the information on the internet. You've reached the end of another episode of the Luna Lab. For more information, please check out lunalabpodcast.com and follow me on Instagram at lunalab.podcast.